accidentally became Jewish for 10 years.
What an accident, you know? You just slip and then all of a sudden you're Jewish.
Cut off the tip of your penis and hey, you're Jewish.
Hey, how's it about?
Mazel tov. Several years ago, after a bad breakup, I decided to cheer myself up by getting back into the tabletop gaming hobby that I had given up largely for the past few years.
Just throwing the old paddle around, am I right?
Paddle?
I thought it was ping pong.
Oh, I think when he says tabletop gaming, I think he means like Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
it is ping pong.
We'll see.
I was thinking it was that. I discovered meetup.com and responded to a handful of posts from people looking for new players for their games. But the first few that I responded to weren't great. One of them was really far away, and the other one had like 8 players. So I'm assuming it's probably like a Dungeons and Dragons or something. So I started going into these events with the mindset that I very well will never see these people ever again. Flash forward to a post by a guy I'll call Derek, looking for people to join his Dungeons and Dragons game. Dungeons and Dragons. There it is. Turned out that he only lived a few blocks from me. And Derek and the other guys who were there, let's call them Philip and Matthew, all seemed easy to get along with. So far, so good. Everything was going great until Matthew suggested we order pizza. Philip looked up a place on his delivery app. We collectively decided what we wanted to get. And then Philip announced that the place had a special where you could get bacon as an additional topping for no cost.
Free bacon?
Free bacon.
Let's go, baby.
And then I quipped, free bacon, the classic Jewish dilemma. Matthew's expression immediately changed, and Derek said that I shouldn't make jokes like that because Matthew was Jewish. Now, I didn't mean to offend anyone with my stupid little joke, and certainly don't have ill will towards Jewish people in general, or Matthew specifically.
Or do you?
Or do you, you anti-Semite?
We're on to you.
And I was still thinking that it was very possible that I'd never see these people again, even if Derek and I hit it off. What are the odds that Matthew, or for that matter, Philip would be back next week? So to smooth things over, I said, it's actually okay that I made that joke because I'm Jewish.
Genius.
Now, I'm a blonde-haired, green-eyed, and generally look like Nazi propaganda, and definitely look more like that than the average Jewish person. But Matthew was visibly relieved and the tension dissipated. And I figured that was that. Except it wasn't.
It really isn't, though.
Derek invited me back the next week. And when a new player joined the group, Derek immediately told him that I was Jewish. Derek, Philip, Matthew, and the new player, let's call him JoJo, went on to become some of my closest friends.
Wow.
And Matthew keeps inviting me to temple and various Jewish events because somehow, despite living in New York City, I'm one of his only Jewish friends. 10 years later, our friendships are still growing strong. Derek continues to tell everyone that we meet that I'm Jewish, and Matthew continues to invite me to Cedars and temple and so forth. And now I'm in so deep that I've resorted to researching Jewish culture and history so that I can maintain the charade. L'chaim, my Reddit friends.
I am literally just like, I can feel the pain, like the burst of the bubble is just building right now.
It feels like a Seinfeld episode. Like George Costanza would definitely do this.
Yeah,
where it would
absolutely.
It'd just be like, all right, I just have to keep lying forever now.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is an update.
Oh.
Contrary to a lot of people, like hundreds of you, that said I should just convert, I'm not entirely ruling it out. But I was raised somewhere between half-assed Protestant and heathen, and don't really have a deeply held spiritual belief. So as for right now, if I converted, I would just be going through the motions, which I feel would be dishonest and disrespectful to the religion and the people who adhere to it.
Oh, it would be so dishonest.
It would be so dishonest to
like
say that you're
lying.
Jewish for 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people had comments about the joke I made. Some people thought it was funny, some thought it was offensive, and some drew broader conclusions. It's not my place to tell anyone how to feel. I have half of a dozen close friends from college who are Jewish, and probably at least a third of my work friends who are Jewish, and a lot of them enjoy sharing Jewish jokes. So having spent my entire adult life in that context, I felt a level of comfort with the material that I really shouldn't have in the group of people that I didn't know very well. So the larger lesson here is, other than tell the truth, and don't tell offensive jokes, is to remember that when you meet someone, they don't know what's in your heart, and your job is make sure they understand what you mean and not the other way around.
We need an update. When
are you gonna convert?
I need either he needs to convert or because once he tells them That's gonna be bad.
10 years.
Also, like I feel like if he hadn't even if he did use fake names, it's probably very distinguishable if anyone in the group reads the story that this is it.
And they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. They're probably on Reddit.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, wow, dude. Okay. OP, wherever you are in the world, you need to convert, or you need to tell them, and then you need to write an update story so we can read it.
And also, like, we're broadcasting this to like hundreds of thousands of people.
Everyone spread the message.
Oh, no.
Today I effed up by having sex doggy style.
That sounds like not a mess up. It sounds like you did, a tried and true position.
A tried and true position. And also, I don't know why it made me think of, do you know James Carville? Cajun style.
Cajun style. No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's this crazy, like, he looks like a white pencil. He's this like crazy, like funny Democrat guy who says Cajun style. That's like his catchphrase.
So now is the OKOP's like new catchphrase going to be doggy style?
Doggy style. Yes.
Okay. It's like we're telling these stories raw.
Yeah. Raw.
From behind. Doggy style.
Bad to the bone. Like a doggy.
Doggy bone. You're boning.
There's layers.
There's layers.
Like an onion.
This is what peak comedy looks like.
This is what peak.
Really.
We're actually comedians.
We're actually comedians.
We're two white guys with a podcast with a comedic tone.
Yeah, no, I was telling John earlier that I went to this like comedy show, and it was like things that people like it was the concept of the song was things that no one has ever said before, but that have been actually said before like a million times. And one of them was like two white guys sitting in a room discussing like, bro, we're so funny. Like if someone could just record our conversations, like people would actually listen to it. And that is a thought we had. And here we are. You're listening. So,
in our defense, we have, an audience and have built something. So there's something here.
There's something here. I think we have something, John.
I think we have
all
something.
the months before, I wasn't sure, but
now,
right now, I think we got something.
Validated.
Thank you for validating us, because Lord knows my mother never did.
A rough truth. Speaking of things that are rough. Back to our story.
Just kidding. My mom validated me.
She's loving and direct. Loving and direct.
In case she's like watching right now. Just kidding.
Yeah.
She'd never watch.
Yeah. Ouch. 2 for 2. So, yes, it's true. No, it's not a bait. And I am still suffering the consequences. Goodness gracious.
Of doggy style, dude.
Doggy
style.
That,
and it's not 9 months later? This is just like
we'll see. Well, there might be a 9 months
later. We're about to get some Ancestry.com kind of. Those are my favorite stories.
They are truly insane. One more small side note. Josh from Judges has his own DNA test story. His I believe his brother is actually his sibling was his half sibling, but the family already knew. They just hadn't told them. So yeah, it's Reddit IRL. He had his own DNA test extravaganza.
What is the step?
Oh, it's his sibling is just his half sibling, and everyone knew except for the two of them.
Did they? So like who was raised under? Oh, like,
Josh's biological dad, I believe, essentially just had his half sibling as his own child, even though the dad wasn't biologically related to them.
Oh, so Josh still has 2 bio parents. His brother has 1 bio.
I believe that was the situation.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were shocked, and then they brought it to everyone. They're like, yeah, we helped all aunts, uncles, grandparents, everyone.
It's like Josh's brother's black.
Yeah. I feel like there's something here. One of these things isn't quite like the other.
Thing is, like, you don't think about that when you're a kid.
No, yeah.
Like I think of some of like I don't know if you've ever had like adopted friends or whatever, but it's like you don't think that your parents look different than you, and then you're like, oh, I guess my parents. I'm not adopted, but I'm guessing that.
I've had friends that were adopted that I'm like, you literally look like your parents. Like I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that's true. It could go the other way too.
I just like it might just be my brain, but I associated that with them. So. Bam. Story. Friday evening, my partner and I engaged in some fun activities.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Throwing her a bone.
Oh, yeah.
eating that meat, beating that meat right into a saddle.
Right into the jelly. And at this point, he decided to do me from behind, and I started feeling ill.
Ill.
Uh-oh.
Like as in like bowel movements ill or throw up ill?
Yeah, he decided to do it to me from behind. I started feeling ill. Let's see. Then not at all. Oh god, like I'm feeling ill. Like, oh, what am I doing? Then he turned me around missionary, and I stared feeling dizzy.
Man's just spinning this lady around the way
a
too
tilt-a-whirl
fast.
over here.
Spin around.
I have thought, like, I remember as like a teenager, like, what if you just put the woman on your dick and just like spin her around like those, you know,
Like a washing machine?
like a washing, or like the Wheel of Fortune, you know, or wait, no, what's the big wheel that they spin?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah. Just like, what happens if you do that? Is that like good?
I wonder what your search history was like.
Oh, I never searched it. I just,
Bro,
what are you
doing?
thought of it as like, oh, this would be like, you know, you just have these strange sexual thoughts when you're in your adolescence, and
Yes,
it just,
I'm familiar.
it just came across my mind. I was like, oh, what if that like, and I was like, chicks would probably dig that. I remember thinking that as well.
Next thing you know, I haven't been in John's room in a couple weeks, but let's just say there's a Wheel of
Dude,
Fortune.
a renovation. We might have had some renovations done.
I'm just imagining like
Like the BDSM
strapped
Wheel of
in.
Fortune. Yeah. That's hilarious.
But you know, like if we were to think about like how that would actually work, you would have to put like butt in the middle, or maybe it could be like a glory hole kind of deal, where it's like
My imagination was, the woman is spinning and the guy is just standing there.
Is she like this?
I believe
Like,
it's.
and the hole's
I believe
there,
we're like
like
this.
there.
That was how I envisioned it in my
I feel like that
in my
kind of
13-year-old brain.
I feel like that those puzzle pieces would be tough.
Oh yeah, no, it was a very, a lot of engineering, a lot of UCLA engineering would be needed to pull this off.
Let's get the engineering
Yeah,
squad on it.
We'll pull UCLA's finest and put him on the job.
Hey, Shark Tank, we're ready for you. We're coming.
Sam
for
went to
you.
UCLA engineering, by the way. That's
That's
why I was saying
that's the
Inside
jokes. I was a failed engineer, as you can tell.
failed in such a beautiful way.
Yeah. I would say it was a flop that led to success. Yeah, because really, if I won as an engineer, I would be sad in life.
That's losing all around.
Yeah, no, I would have been a quality assurance engineer, which is basically like
that's
a meter maid,
terrible.
but for big companies. And it's like, this is not up to code, and then I give them a fine, and then everyone hates me, and then I go cry at home.
I will pass on that career.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
All right, let's see. 5th sentence here. Okay, here we go.
This is a good
Good warm up. He noticed and stopped and asked if I was okay. Of course, I said, must be my low blood pressure. I thought giving it a minute would make it better. Spoiler alert, it got way worse.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, how can it? That doesn't.
How
It sounds
do you know
bad.
It's not a Reddit story if it doesn't get
That's
way
true.
worse.
That's true.
halfway
Is it a true
through.
Reddit story if it just gets better from
Yeah, is this today?
Yeah,
effed
this
up?
is today effed up.
Yeah, see, the f ups have to
That's
continue.
true.
They have to compound.
It's a domino
like-
effect.
It's the law of compound
Yes.
interest, but the law of
Compound fuck-ups,
in Reddit
yes.
stories. Compound fuck-ups.
We should create our own investment platform where it's like, you know how today I effed up? It's every fuck up gets worse. Well, that's what we're doing to your money, except we're anti-fucking it up.
We're
The anti-fuck up
anti-fucking it up.
investment.
Yeah, ooh, that's an
AFU,
NFT.
yeah, AFU investments.
AFU. What's that drink where it's like it's like AFU or
It was like Bang
what I'm
Energy. Is it
talking
like an influencer drink?
No, well, okay. Do you know? Guess how many milligrams of caffeine a Bang energy drink has? Or do you know how many milligrams is in an average cup
50?
of coffee? Yeah,
50 to 80.
All right, guess how much is in one Bang?
I'm gonna go
energy
crazy.
drink?
400.
That is very close. 300.
Wow,
And it's so much that you're not allowed to have that energy drink unless you're 18
that's
or
6
older.
cups. Oh my god. Yeah, that's 6 cups
in
of coffee.
one.
Oh.
In
Because
one.
if you think about if you're just like casually, you'll drink water, coffee, or whatever. Like if you're just throwing those back, you're just having like.
Well, that's what all the influencers on TikTok are doing. They're just throwing it back. No wonder they can make so many bang.
Well,
TikToks.
yeah.
It's
They're
like-
banging
it's
out
literally
30
crap.
TikToks after drinking.
Yeah.
them.
Look.
Wow, that's insane.
It's adios, motherfucker. AMF.
Oh, AMFs. Okay. I like that. Okay, there's something there. There's something there. We could build it. So at this point, I started experiencing the worst vertigo of my life.
See, this is why you don't do wheel of motion shit in the bedroom.
Well, they weren't doing. My 13-year-old brain was doing it.
I know, but they're I mean, the
twisting and turning. Yeah, she was being
well
spun around all the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't move my head an inch. I just had to lie down on my back and try to breathe. Gee, this sounds like she's taking like. This was me taking like a crazy edible, like just laying down and just staying there.
The world spinning, or like after a night of drinking, getting home, and it's like, oh, the roller coaster decided to start right now.
Man, that's convenient. It decided when you got home.
I know. It's like
perfect timing.
I feel like totally fine. I'm running through the streets. I sit down, and then it's like, buckle up.
I like how just prior you were running through the streets, and then we get inside.
I'm always, whenever I'm drunk, like I'm always running through the streets. I remember, okay, dude, all right, I was in Hong Kong, and I remember it was like one of the first times that I had really traveled the world, like alone, without supervision of any parents. And so I heard Hong Kong was a pretty safe city. And so what I started doing is I ran through every sketchy alleyway and it was screaming at the top of my lungs. So like, I can't believe I'm not getting mugged.
Were you recording it?
And
you're just doing it for fun.
I was just running through. And that was on Thanksgiving. And I was thankful for Hong Kong.
But they don't have Thanksgiving, right? They're just
No, they don't. Well, actually they do celebrate, like we celebrated it with a bunch of like Americans.
Right, yeah.
They have,
probably
like,
enough Americans.
Yeah,
to,
I mean, because Hong Kong's such an international city, and like especially like pre-China, fucking it over, I was there in like 2017. So, yeah, it's a cool place.
I started feeling sick and eventually ended up vomiting the entire rest of the night. I mean.
The copulating was over, right? It wasn't like during.
Well, they stopped. Yeah, they stopped. It was just like,
this is my kick.
Which is funny because I'm like, yeah, this dick's so crazy, make you throw up. That's what a guy would say.
Only men.
me and Anna last night, she was just vomiting over this massive.
Loved it.
Yeah, she loved it.
She loved it so much she was vomiting.
Yeah, that's classic guy talk.
Classic fellas. You know?
I was vomiting while the room is still spinning, which made me vomit even more in an endless, terrible cycle.
That sounds so bad.
That is awful.
This is the worst. The worst.
At last, I fell asleep, thinking it would go away in the morning like a fool. Oh my God!
No,
still
it's
not over.
What?
Jeez, I ended up having to stay 7 hours in the emergency room in what they called benign paroxysmal positional vertigo.
Whoa. When the dick real crazy.
Give her that paroxysmal positional vertigo.
Say that fast 3 times, bro.
Oh my goodness. If you've never heard of it, you're not the only one. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either. But, then again, I haven't been dicked down this
I haven't been dicked down that hard. My cheeks haven't been obliterated like that.
And that's why you need
that's why you need clap cleats. Basically, if you have tiny microscopic crystal-like stones in your inner ear, otoliths, the disease is literally called crystal illness in my native language, and these stones can get loose, which messes up your balance.
Whoa.
This is some space age shit.
No, bro.
Bro,
you're I thought of? I don't know if you don't really watch Rick and Morty, but there's like one of the first episodes, like, Morty, we got to get the crystals, Morty. You got to stick these crystals up your butt. Like, that's what I thought of.
Yeah, just like no context, just like, you need these crystals up your ass. And it's
up your ass or whatever orifice that.
Yeah, whatever orifice can do the job. Yeah,
ears will do it. I guess these are smaller crystals.
Yeah, these are very tiny crystals apparently, which is like so wild. Like crystals in our ears.
The human body, crazy.
Wow. It can take weeks before you fully recover, and I still can't turn my head or look down without nausea or vertigo.
Bro, weeks.
Wow.
She's on that roller coaster for weeks.
Wow. Also, the TLDR is so perfect, I have to read it.
Okay, yeah, please tell me.
TLDR, my boyfriend fucked me so hard, my microscopic crystals in my ear fell out. Wow. Dude.
That's a freaking title.
That's a
freaking title.
We totally missed that as
you should just reread the
yes, we will reread the title as
because
the title.
That's just way too good.
My boyfriend effed me so hard, my microscopic crystals in my ear fell out.
When you said microscopic, I was thinking of another micro.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is the antithesis of that.
Yeah,
this is like the opposite
so
of that.
good.
Two
The
different
macro
microscopic
makes the
situations.
micro,
yeah. The macro causing the micro.
Whoa.
Well, Samuel, I think we have thoroughly entertained our viewers today.
I freaking hope so. If you're not entertained, dude, I feel sorry for you.
Just goodbye.
You probably have vertigo.
Goodbye.
Honestly.
You do.
Yeah.
You have vertigo
Goodbye.
from no entertainment.
Yeah.